I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. What is the meaning of the four faces of the cherubim in Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 14? The face of a man, a cherub, a lion, and an eagle. Thank you. Well, thank you. Now, this is one of those questions where when we get a couple of people in the room, we're going to get a multitude of opinions. We're not only in prophetic literature, we're in the book of Ezekiel, and we're dealing with the cherubim, these incredible creatures that are described as being around the throne of God. Now, I want to kind of take a step back from the specific of the question, and then I promise we're going to get more narrow in just a moment. The Bible actually mentions that there are 5 cherubim around the throne of God. In the book of Ezekiel, it talks about the 4 that were referenced here in chapter 10. All right. A little bit later in the book of Ezekiel, it talks about whom we know as Lucifer originally being the cherub over the throne of God. That's in Ezekiel chapter 28. Now, the reason that that's important is because whom we know as Lucifer, the one who fell to be Satan, how is he described not only in the book of Genesis, but he's described in the book of Revelation chapter 12 as being a serpent. Why is that critical? Think about all those faces that are represented. They represent the different classifications of the life forms that the Lord created all the way back in the book of Genesis. And according to what you reference in chapter 10, verse 14, the only, quote, species, broadly speaking, that's left out is, you guessed it, that of the reptilian or the reptile species, that which flies, that which is on the land, humanity, and even the spiritual beings, the angelic beings, are represented by the other 4, which is important because that means that the throne of God before the fall of Satan had a representative in the cherubim of all of the creative order of the Lord as described in Genesis chapter 1. So when you get to chapter 10, verse 14, what is the significance? The significance is that all the creative order is representative around the throne of God, but over the throne of God, there is a vacancy that whom we know as Lucifer vacated when pride was filled in his heart. Again, it's Ezekiel. It's not an easy section of the Bible, but it is very interesting. If you got a question, send it to AskJeff.net, and maybe your question will be tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.